Blair, I'm going to be talking about a game that I guess is like about a year old or so. I'm not sure how old it is. We got a few months ago and finally got a chance to play it. So Thomas hopped the fence this week and came over and we played some games. And he just happened to know how to play this.
Awesome.
He hadn't played it for a long time, so he still had to reference and stuff like that. But he knew how to play it. So I thought, let's just go ahead and do it. I mean, you know how to play it. You can teach me. I mean, it's one of those rare occasions where someone's teaching me a game instead of vice versa, or like just reading the rules together like me and you do and shouldn't do.
All the time.
Yeah. So Thomas came over, taught me and Haley this game. His girlfriend April was also playing with us. Designed by Johnny and Chris O'Neill and published by Brotherwise Games. I'm guessing they're the brothers from Brotherwise. Boss Monster plays 2 to 4 players in 30 minutes and has players competing to kill heroes, adventuring through their dungeon. So each turn, you have the opportunity to build up your dungeon with better rooms to attract heroes that you want with a particular type of treasure. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a hand of cards, and you're going to be able to build rooms. There's trap rooms and monster rooms. So some have traps, some have monsters, right? And then there's advanced trap rooms and advanced monster rooms. So your monster is going to be on the very far right side, and you're building all the way out, right? So if you can lay down up to 5 rooms on the left side of your monster. If you lay down 2 rooms, the hero is only going to have to go through 2 rooms before he gets to your monster, right? If you lay down 5, he's got to go all the way through the 5 rooms. But what it is they have different symbols on them. So they've got like money and spell books and weapons, stuff like that. And the different heroes are going to be attracted to that loot. So what you do with the rooms also is there's the basic rooms, and you can always lay down another basic room on top of the current basic room, or you can lay down an advanced room on top of the current basic room, but the top symbols have to match. There's like a little monster symbol and like a skull and crossbones symbol, I believe. But you can't ever just lay down an advanced room without having a basic room underneath it. So you're just trying to build up your dungeon as best you can. It's kind of like building up a little engine, and then you're running a hero through it to see how good your engine is, essentially.
That's pretty cool.
There is a lot of luck and not a lot of mitigation to the luck, but we'll get into that. So your boss is far to the right, like I said, and you can build 5 rooms out to the left. Heroes run through your dungeon, and each room has an action that helps you destroy the heroes, and they've got actions like destroy this room to gain 5 attack, things like that. And they just help you beat the heroes and do different things. And, you can set up some really cool card combinations like destroy this room and you'll get to do this. And then you've got another one that says each time a room is destroyed, you draw a spell card, things like that.
So you get these chains.
Yeah,
going.
so you're doing some pretty cool combos. So what happens is the heroes come out, and I think it's 4 heroes come out each turn, and they're attracted to the person with the most types of the symbol that they match. So if a hero comes out and he's got, treasure icon on him, the person with the most treasure, that hero goes to the start of their dungeon. So you decide, which of the heroes go to whoever's dungeon, right? So that's one of my first issues with the game is that, I play one game where me and one other person sit there for 5 rounds of this game. Uh-huh. Before we ever get to actually play the game. Because because we're drawing cards that aren't giving us. Okay, so there's a little bit of skill involved in this game, right? So you're trying to build the best room you can with what you got, and there's some like satisfaction in that, like, oh, I did the best I could, and I killed the hero, whatever. So, but what happens is you draw a hand of cards, and you've got 4 advanced rooms and 1 regular room.
So you can't use them all.
Yeah. And then it's so hard at that point to get up to where you can actually attract, because there's 3 or 4 different symbols. And if you don't have the most of any of those symbols, you're not going to attract any heroes. So, me and this other person sat there for literally 5 turns waiting to even really play the game. We were building up our engine, building up our dungeon, but never got to run anything through it, Yeah. So that's not really that much fun, honestly.
Maybe a more set.
Yeah,
less randomized, or
I'm not really sure what they could do for that. I mean, the game can be kind of fun when you're actually getting to perform the game, but there's so much luck involved in what you draw. I mean, maybe it should be a draft instead of drafting's always a good way to mitigate that sort of like card draw luck. So a little bit more about the game. When you kill a hero, you gain a soul or 2 souls for epic heroes. If they make it through, you get a wound, and you can only get up to 5 wounds before you're out. So there's also player elimination. 1 more strike against the game. I mean, it's only 30 minutes, but really it's like 40 or 45 minutes it can take. And when you get eliminated, I mean, pretty early on, if you're only drawing advanced rooms and like they're only having to hit 1 or 2 rooms before they get you, you're going to get eliminated. You can get eliminated pretty quick.
Yeah.
Sit there for a half an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can also there's also spell cards. You also get spell cards, and you can play these on your rooms, the heroes, or your opponents to do different things. All of the art and the characters are based on classic video games. Like I said earlier, Castlevania, like one of the boss monsters you can be is like the Dracula character from Castlevania.
That's pretty cool. I was wondering if
Dracula,
they had...
it's like on the card, it's Draculord. I've never been much of a video gamer, so I mean, a lot of the references didn't really make it to me. You know what I mean?
Is there like a Metroid?
I don't know, man.
Mother Brain type?
I have no idea. The only Metroid I've ever seen is when you were playing Metroid on the Wii, like right when the Wii came out.
Okay.
So that's the extent of my Metroid knowledge.
Okay.
Is that right? You had a Metroid game when the Wii first came out?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all I know about Metroid. And I remember it was like a first person type thing.
That was actually the GameCube game. I was playing it on the Wii though.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay. So anyway, so you got to get 10 souls to win. So the first person to get 10 souls wins. Like I said, when they go through, you get 1 or 2 souls depending on whether they're a regular hero or an epic hero. And I'm not sure, man. So I felt like it was really unbalanced. Like I said, one person can just draw the right hand of cards at the beginning, and it can really have a runaway leader problem.
Yeah.
I mean, one person can be... 2 people were up to 6 or 7 points, and we were at 0.
Wow.
That's not good. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
And maybe we just weren't playing it very well, but I can't imagine another way that I could have mitigated the fact that I drew all advanced rooms and couldn't play any of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can really fall behind drawing the wrong cards. If you draw all advanced rooms, like I said, you can start with 1 room and your opponents have 4 or 5. I did really enjoy the art and the theme. To me, in the end, it's a card game that works as a filler, but to me, there's so much better fillers out there.
Yeah.
You know, I've got at least 20 games I can think of that I'd rather play in 30, 40 minutes than this. Yeah. But it's not a bad game, but it's just not really good, and it can be really frustrating. And, I mean, I just don't want to play a game where even I'm doing really good and someone is fallen so far behind that it's just not fun for them anymore.
Never catch up, yeah.
You know, and you don't really get, like, it's not like you're going to be, like, really down and depressed because you're not winning Boss Monster, but still, like, shouldn't it be fun for everybody? Shouldn't there be a way besides, and I'll tell you, the spell cards are so hard to get. If even spell cards were just easier to get, those would be a good way to mitigate that luck. I don't know. It wasn't really my complete cup of tea, even though I did sort of like it. It was a fun game because I was playing it with fun people.
Yeah.
But the game itself
seems like it has some flaws.
Awfully broken, you know, to me. There is an expansion. It's a little mini expansion that came with it. It's called the Tools of Hero Kind. And I really like the expansion. I thought it did really good at adding to the game without really changing the rules drastically. It didn't really add more of the same, much more of the same, but it added a new mechanic, but it didn't really change the game that much. But it added, like I said, a new way to mitigate luck. So what it is it adds item cards. So each round, 2 of these cards are revealed, and you attach it to the first hero that comes out that has a matching symbol. So if one of them has treasure symbol, the first hero that comes out with the treasure symbol, it attaches to, right?
Yeah.
So then while they're running through the dungeon of whoever they run through, they have an action that'll happen in that dungeon. Like this hero gets to go through the first 3 rooms before it takes damage, something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're still able to beat it, then you get that item card as a 1-use item card.
Nice.
So it's like another way to have spells or items instead of spells. So
nice.
I thought that was a pretty cool little mini expansion, and it adds like 1 or 2 new spells and like 1 or 2 new rooms that are all based on items. So the new rooms and spells they add, the more of the same they add, are just because they wanted to get some stuff in there that had the word items in it, because they're adding items into the game.
Yeah.
So it's like they, you know, these could have been part of the original deck if items were just a part of the original game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I can't see it being something that I want to play very often. But like I said, it's not a bad game. There's just some issues with it where I felt like it was also just very mechanical. I mean, you draw a card, you draw a room card, then you have a chance to build your dungeon, then you all flip it over. I mean, for honestly no reason. There's things in this game that feel like happen for no real reason. Like you reveal, but it seems like no one ever really cares what everyone's revealing. You know what I mean?
There's no point to the hideaway.
Yeah. So you flip it over, and then heroes are drawn, and then they're given to the people who do it, and then one by one, you run your hero through. But you got to like stop at each room and like read out what the room does, because if somebody wants to play a spell, you can't just go. You know, this game gave me a real feeling of Munchkin. You know how in Munchkin you get to the point where you're going, okay, I got 21 against their 18, I got it. Everyone good?
Yeah.
Like we said, everyone good a lot. I mean, just like Munchkin. So in the same ways that Munchkin can be broken a little bit in that way, this is broken to an even further degree. Because in Munchkin, I never, even though it's like luck of the draw, I feel like I'm always getting enough good stuff to do stuff with. In this, I don't really feel that way because there's limitations on what you're drawing. Like you draw this stuff, but it's like the usable by wizard only or whatever. Mm-hmm. But in Munchkin, you can trade cards and stuff.
Yeah,
in this one, it's not really.
Sell them to get a level.
You know, it's like they are going the Munchkin route, but are putting like limitations on everything, which isn't really that much fun. In Munchkin, there's literally no limitations. The rulebook says you can cheat. So, and I'm not saying Munchkin's a great game, but I felt like this was almost a worse version of Munchkin. I don't know. It felt like it, like the just, okay, down to 8, down to 5, down to 1, he's dead. Down to 8, just running every single, like going through the motions. So, boss monster in the end, if it sounds cool, if the theme sounds cool, and you just want a quick, fun card game, and you don't care about the luck, and you just want something to just kind of waste some time as a good, really thematic, and that's what's cool about the game. It's really thematic, and its theme is pretty cool. So if you want something that's just a quick, fun, thematic card game and you don't care about like the mechanics being sort of broken, I mean, Boss Monster might be for you. But I would say definitely try to get the little mini expansion Tools of Hero Kind, because it just adds even another way to mitigate that luck factor that kind of is the base problem of the game for me. I forgot another way to do that is you level up, but you only level up once.
Oh, it's not like
in the game. You have one action on your boss monster card, and once you build 5 rooms, you get to use that action once. So maybe if there was like level 2, 3, 4, 5, and you got like every time you leveled up, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's a level up if you can only do it once. That's just like, okay, upgrade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like leveling up is inherently like the next one's going to be harder.
Yeah, for sure.
To me, that's what I think of.
I just feel like it's just one of those games. It could have used 6 more months of development, like more play testing. Like it almost feels like it was play tested with just friends. I mean, I don't know that to be true, but you know, I mean, more play testing with many different groups of people. Like go play test it with a group of people that, you know, aren't into just like straight luck-ridden Ameritrash games, you know?
Yeah.
See what they think about it, and then add in a few aspects of it, you know? But anyway, that's Boss Monster and Boss Monster Tools of Hero Kind.